Hello everyone, this is Electric Zephyr, and this is my first video, and it'll be against Mr. Improv, so check this out. Excuse the shakiness of the video, I don't have the proper equipment yet, but let's begin. So, I lead with Degen, my Mega, because I really just wanted to start out offensive and get right into the battle. So I start off using Protect, and because I see the Night Slash coming from his glide score, so I fire back with a Shadow Ball after that speed boost, cutting him down a little bit. Didn't expect it to do much, but I really didn't have any defense against the glide score. So he uses Night Slash, which drops me a fair amount, but I'm still standing. Glide scores are fairly bulky or something, or stronger than I expected. So he switches out for a Empoleon, which I wasn't prepared for, and he absorbs my Bug Buzz, unfortunately, which does hardly anything. So take another speed boost, use Protect, so I can see what he's about to do before I switch out. I'm glad, because he uses Surf, and I think I was going to switch out for something weak to it. So then I switch Degen out for Domino, my Steelix, hoping that he would use an Ice Beam, which he does. It only drops me back a little bit, but yeah. Then he uses Surf, which does an awful lot of damage, more than I expected it to, but I guess that's Stab, and if it's Life Orb, which I'm not sure, not paying attention. It is, it's Life Orb. Alright, well, I use a Earthquake, which pretty much knocks this thing right the fuck out. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't think I had raised Domino's attack that high, but apparently I did. So Claudius goes down. Then he sends out the scariest thing I've ever seen, Nimbus. It's absolutely the strongest Zapdos I've ever gone up against. So I switch out for my Gyatso to try and avoid my Domino from going down. I enjoy that thing, and I was gonna try and save it for later, see if I can take it down pretty easy. And I was hoping that Gyatso would be able to take this hit, but it can't, seeing as this thing is spec'd. I think it has choice specs, I'm not sure, but I take the hit, it goes down, so I send out Domino. And what I had planned to do here was use Explosion, but he uses one of those kill everything Thunderbolts that drops Domino in a single shot, and I'm just kind of thinking, this is going to be horrible. I really wasn't prepared to go against one of these. So the only thing I can really think of is send out a wall, and that would be my Crest, Luna. It's a fucking beast. Takes that Thunderbolt for about half damage, and then I fire off a Thunder Wave, paralyzing it, seeing as I had to slow it down or I'd just get murdered by that Thunderbolt repeatedly. So from here on out, it's about a good 5-minute stall fest of me just using Moonlight, getting hit with Thunderbolt, using Moonlight again, and repeat. Yeah. So while this happens, I'm gonna, pretty much I've gone up against Improv before, and I've never seen this Zapdos, and I guess it was new, and it was honestly the strongest Zapdos I've ever gone up against. Like, I've gone up against other ones before, but they never really hit as hard as this one did. It's pretty intense. So yeah, I get a little ballsy using Ice Beam there. Drops it about a third, which is about as much as I could have expected from Luna's special attack, seeing as it's a Crest. Take another Thunderbolt, barely hold on, I think, if I'm remembering right. And glad I have that Leftovers, because if I didn't, I'd be done right now. So Leftovers kicks in, brings me back up, and then I kick off the Moonlight yet again, back into a stall fest for the next while. So yeah, I'm kind of happy I realized that Nimbus was locked into that Thunderbolt, because if I hadn't, I'm pretty sure this battle would have been a lot shorter. So I take another Thunderbolt. We're gonna continue with this stall here for the next while. Like, all I can keep doing is Moonlight, try and survive, you know. But I'd kind of expected him to send out like a wall to oppose my wall, considering that's what had happened when me and Improv go up against each other. We usually end up in a wall lock, I guess you could call it, where we just end up stalling each other for about half an hour trying to beat one another. I remember, I think it was the first time I went up against Improv. We ended up going Gliscor against Gliscor for about a half an hour bitch slap fight before I ran out of moves to use on him. So I was kind of happy he didn't try and counter me in any way. Well, kind of. Zapdos itself is kind of a counter. Oh well. So I think after this Thunderbolt, it brings me back to a little below half. Yeah, a little below half, and then I go for the Moonlight, and then I think I make my move after this. I'm not sure. This is a rather long stall fest. Yeah, I really need that equipment to make sure this isn't as shaky as it is now. It's really hard to keep your hands still for more than 10 minutes. So, take that Thunderbolt. This drops me a little below half, or less than it did last time. And then I go for my Moonlight yet again. No, I get ballsy. I get really ballsy and use Ice Beam and hope I don't get shot down immediately. So, that brings it down a fair amount, more than I thought it would. And this Thunderbolt brings me really like close to death. I'm so close to losing Luna, but she holds on with just the littlest bit of HP, and I can finish it off with an Ice Beam. Just boom! It's the shot that knocked it down. So that was pretty much the biggest problem in that team. Is something else I think later that could have been a even larger problem, but I think I get lucky. So after this, he sends out his Gliscor, Adam West, yet again, and this is pretty much what lost him the battle. He uses what he called the Derpquake. I guess he forgot that Cresselia has Levitate, and it kind of cost him the battle, but it was it's an honest mistake. I've forgotten Cresselia has Levitate a few times myself, but I drop Adam West in a single shot. Then he sends out Newman, if I remember right. Let's see. Yeah, gain HP. Yeah, Newman. The very interesting Snorlax. So I use Moonlight because I think he's gonna try and stall me for the next few turns, but I'm very wrong, and he goes on the offensive and sends out and uses Body Slam, and at the time I did not at all notice that it had Life Orb. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. So pretty much what I do here is switch out just because I wanted to counter for it, and I send out Ulquiorra, my Lucario, thinking I can shoot it down in one shot, but he switches out as well for Genghis the Tyrant. Genghis the Tyranitar. So at first I panicked, but it was no big deal. I guess what he thought was Ulquiorra was a physical Lucario, or that's what everyone else thinks, but it's actually a special Lucario holding choice specs. So I really wanted this thing to hit hard. So I hit North Star pretty fucking hard. It dropped more than I thought it would, and then Sandstorm seems to work in my favor in this instance. I go for the Aurasphere yet again to try and drop it, which is successful. This thing falls after 2 hits, which I was pretty happy about. I was really stoked when I found out Okiora worked as well as it did. But yeah. So Sandstorm yet again, and then he sends Newman back out, and I thought he was crazy because I thought I could one-shot it, but I use Aurasphere, and I'm sitting here looking at my DS thinking, alright, I've got this. Keep going down. I've got my fingers crossed at this point, and then I notice this HP. His fucking Snorlax takes that Aurasphere like a boss and just doesn't go down. So uses Earthquake for that obvious super effective hit. I go down because apparently my Lucario has fucking paper thin defenses, which is slightly disappointing to me, but as long as it can outrun anything, I guess I'll set. So Okiora goes down, but because of that life orb on Newman, that also goes down, and it kind of takes care of a big problem for me. So at this point I realized that all I've got left is Genghis, so I send Degen back out, thinking I can one-shot it with Bug Buzz, but I use it once, and I guess I just wasn't thinking right or something, but this thing only goes down about half, a little more than half, and then it's just the scariest crunch I ever encountered. I thought it was going to go down. This thing is my only, Degen is pretty much my only ticket to winning this battle. So I take that, and then on top of that I take the Sandstorm damage, and I'm lucky I'm just left with 2 HP. It was the closest thing ever. So I used that last Bug Buzz, bam, for the final hit. I'm feeling on top of the world right now. Genghis goes down. I survived the battle with 2 HP, and that is the win for me. So I think the final score was 3-0, and I gotta give Improv props for that battle. It was pretty intense. So this is Electric Zephyr. I most likely be posting more videos. I've got another video of this with music instead of commentary if you don't want to hear my voice, just because you don't like me, I guess. So Electric Zephyr, send me a message or find me on Gaia, and that is all.
When I'm falling down.